Hi, and welcome back to Talk of the Town. If you like to make your own wine or possibly are into home brewing, you might recognize our next guest and business. This is Ben Pfeifrick, who's the owner of the Wine and Hop Shop on Monroe Street. I'm glad to have you today.
Well, thanks. I'm glad to be here.
Thanks for being here. So I was sharing with Ben before we started that I was interested to know that the shop has been around for over 40 years. Really impressive longevity here in the Madison area. And we're talking primarily today about home brewing. So I'm curious about this because it's not something that's always been, I guess, legal to do in your own home. But is it hard? Give us a little overview.
It's not as hard as people think. If you can make soup, you can make good beer at home. If you use good ingredients, good fresh ingredients, follow a good recipe and careful sanitation, you can make really good beer. The time frame is that once you start it to once you're drinking it, it's about a month, and there's about 3 to 4 hours of actual work in there. Otherwise, it's sort of wait and let the beer do its thing.
That's such a neat thing to get involved in. I guess my curiosity would be, since it sounds like it's not very hard, you can certainly learn to do it. Mm-hmm. Is it expensive? Is there a lot of equipment needed? I guess kind of fill me in there.
It sort of depends.
Sure.
It's actually not so expensive to get in. We have starter kits. 1 gallon starter kits start at $60. Our 5 gallon starter kits start at $80. A 5 gallon batch of beer costs $35 to $40, and that makes about 2 cases of beer, so it's less than $1 a bottle, which is nice. But if you want to have a little mini brewery at your house, you can spend $5,000 and have everything computerized and your iPad control everything. That's one thing I really like about home brewing is you can be the weekend warrior who spends $60 and that's it, or you can be the person who spends $5,000 and has a little mechanized brewery. So it's fun.
Wow. So maybe you start small and you can kind of grow.
That's how most people do it.
Figure out if you're good at it. I mean, how tough is it to make a beer that tastes good?
Again, it's sounding like a broken record here. It's not so difficult.
Okay.
The shop sells the same hops, the same grains, the same yeast that breweries are using. So you can make the exact same beer or better beer than breweries are making. So
wow.
it's pretty neat.
And can you kind of tailor it to your own taste? I mean, how does that work?
You certainly can. We have over 100 types of grains, yeast, and hops. So there are almost infinite amount of combinations that you can.
Wow.
That you can do
so if you
making
haven't
beer.
Found just that perfect beer yet, you can make your own. I love it.
That's correct.
Now, you have opportunities to help people do this too. Mm-hmm. So if viewers at home are interested in getting started, or maybe they've already started and need some questions or help, how do you help them?
Sure. Well, we do run classes, how to make wine, beer, and kombucha. And also we are open 7 days a week. And people can always stop into the Wine and Hop Shop and ask advice, questions. We get a lot of phone calls, especially this time of year with winemaking, or shoot us an email. That's really one of the fun parts of working there for us is talking beer and wine with people.
Yeah. You're in the industry for a reason. It's a labor of love. I imagine you love helping others too.
We really do, yeah.
And we haven't talked wine yet, so let's talk about wine because it's the Wine and Hop Shop. So. Can I make wine? Let's talk about me.
You can, and very much like home brewing, we have starter kits that they start at $65. But if you're already making beer, a lot of the equipment that you use for wine making is the same equipment you use for beer making. So if you want to do both, or you're already doing one, you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Nice.
But wine takes a little longer. There's a little more waiting in there for it to develop the flavors, but it doesn't take, you don't have to cook it, so the actual work part is not as involved.
Oh, I like that. So a little bit more of a waiting game, but less work involved. I like that.
Yes.
And I also like that the equipment sort of translates. So as your interests change, mm-hmm. maybe you don't have to start from scratch to do both.
Which is really nice.
Now, one thing that I really enjoy, and I think a lot of viewers out there do as well, is supporting local businesses. And there's a lot of opportunities for people to shop online, as you know, mm-hmm. but there's a lot of benefits to supporting local. Why should people shop with you?
Well, I guess one reason would be just the big reason to shop local anywhere is keep money in the community. But specifically for us, Yeah, I think it's the experiential part. Coming in, people will bring their beer or wine in and have us sample it, and we can give them pointers on like, well, I've tasted this off flavor, and if you do this in the process, you can eliminate that. So they help people make better wine and beer. You can go in, you can smell and taste a lot of the ingredients. That experiential part is really important. Plus, we have free samples of wine, beer, and soda on tap. So while you're shopping, you can sample a little beer, and can't do that online.
You had me at free samples. No, I think that's great to be able to have somebody there, a real person, to give you real advice, and somebody that's experienced and done it before. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being here. Thank you for sharing. This is, again, Ben Pfeiferick with Wine and Hop Shop. And if you want to go see them, they're on Monroe Street. So thanks for being here. It's been great.
Thank you.
I want to thank all of our guests for joining us. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Talk of the Town.